Welcome back everyone. Hope you all are doing good, and today I'm again here with another upcoming gaming sequel from Rockstar Games, Red Dead Redemption 3. In this video, I have included compilation of all the information available right now about this game. When Rockstar first released Red Dead Redemption in 2010, fans were thrilled by the Western shooter. There was high demand for a follow-up, and after 8 long years of anticipation, the sequel finally hit consoles in 2018. More than 4 years have passed since, and now the same question is being asked once again. When is Red Dead Redemption 3 coming out? That's a tough question to answer, especially right now, when you're seeing leaks of GTA 6 running rampant like wildfire. Red Dead Redemption 3 has big shoes to fill, as they say. As the follow-up to one of the most acclaimed video games in history, it is an exaggeration to state that Rockstar Games have their work cut out for them. Luckily for them, they aren't under any specific time pressure. There is currently no official Red Dead Redemption 3 release date, which shouldn't surprise anyone. Rockstar Games are famous for taking their time when it comes to their flagship titles. It could be said that their past successes have afforded them this luxury more than any other game studio. However, just because we don't have a Red Dead Redemption 3 release date or an official statement, doesn't mean we have nothing to go on. There's an old saying that where there's smoke there's fire, and where there's fire, there is probably a cowboy with some mighty fine loot to steal. By reading between the lines, one can actually deduce quite a bit on Red Dead Redemption 3 by Rockstar Games. Given the wait between GTA 5 and Grand Theft Auto 6, fans could be faced with a wait of nearly a decade for the sequel to Red Dead Redemption 2. Grand Theft Auto fans will likely have been waiting for GTA 6 for over a decade by the time it comes out, and those looking forward to Red Dead Redemption 3 might be faced with a similarly long wait. Rushing the development of a game can lead to avoidable bugs and quality issues. However, too long of a wait for the release of a game can leave players annoyed or lead to a loss of interest. The third entry in the Red Dead series, Red Dead Redemption 2, was released 8 years after Red Dead Redemption and 5 years after GTA 5. Now, leaks regarding GTA 6 have been confirmed by Rockstar, but there hasn't been any potential release dates included in the information leaked. However, given the more recent pattern of Rockstar releasing either a Red Dead or a GTA title every 5 or so years, Red Dead Redemption 3 would be unlikely to release for another 7 or 8 more years, based on the speculation of GTA 6 coming in either 2023 or 2024. Although Red Dead Redemption players had to wait 8 years to play Red Dead Redemption 2, the game was critically acclaimed. Rockstar delivered an expansive, open-world map for the story of outlaw Arthur Morgan, whose way of life is in decline as the country continues growing and developing. Red Dead Redemption 2 included incredible detail that fleshed out the game, including the dynamic weather system, minigames, and requiring Arthur to eat and drink. In order to craft this gaming experience, some Rockstar developers logged 100-hour weeks working on Red Dead Redemption 2, just one example of the harmful crunch that plagues the game development industry. There will be a Red Dead Redemption 3. We tell you this as the franchise is one of Studio Rockstar's biggest accomplishments, so it doesn't seem likely that they would let such a globally successful video game series die out. That said, you should still bear in mind that even though the game is going to be made, it won't be playable at least for a few years. It's no secret that Rockstar has flourished hugely over the past decade. The massive success of both Red Dead Redemption and GTA 5 has given them an ample supply of funds. But we all know that Rockstar is a perfectionist. Let it be adding animations to every bullet fired in Red Dead or leaving footprints in GTA. Rockstar keeps track of every detail. It'd be an understatement to call them perfectionists. Red Dead Redemption 2 might have been released in 2018. But no one would argue that it was ahead of its time. Yes, its plot is amazing, but the insane amount of attention to detail is what really sets it apart. It's no wonder fans keep wanting more and more, but the developers are only human, and although you can be hopeful for a sequel, you'll have to hold on for quite a while. Sadly, there hasn't been any confirmation as to when the Western Gunslinger series will make its return. Judging from Rockstar's history, and considering the fact that GTA 6 might launch in 2024, it's possible you'll see Red Dead Redemption 3 being released in late 2028. Previously, we were under the impression that 2027 could be a reasonable year to expect the game. And then, arguably, one of the biggest leaks of all time happened, GTA 6. The frenzy of events that transpired after the leak was overwhelming. The first game in the Western-themed franchise came out in May 2010, with Red Dead Redemption 2 arriving in 2018. This means, if our working is correct, that it took Rockstar Games over 8 years to deliver the anticipated follow-up. In between these two games was, of course, Grand Theft Auto 5, which came out in 2013. Going off past behavior, It would appear Rockstar Games generally deliver a AAA title every 3 to 4 years, meaning Red Dead Redemption 3 or GTA 6 could be expected as early as 2023, except GTA Online. While Rockstar once focused exclusively on expansive single-player games, they have since dipped their toes into the cash pool of multiplayer online games with GTA Online, and they appear to like it. They also appear to like remastering their older games. Therefore, it stands to reason that new Rockstar AAA titles will be further apart than before. And then, there is also the small matter of GTA 6. Essentially, we wouldn't expect Red Dead Redemption 3 before 2026. If GTA 6 releases in 2023, and later still if that game suffers any kind of delay. Looking at the time between each release of the Red Dead and GTA series, it would make sense for RDR3 to be released around the end of the decade. However, the idea of being a decade older for the release of Red Dead Redemption 3 might be the scariest part of the release date. Rockstar has, as expected, been quiet about Red Dead Redemption 3, and it's uncertain when development for the next Red Dead started, or if it has even begun at all. Additionally, due to the recent leaks, the timetables for development could be affected for both GTA 6 and Red Dead Redemption 3. Given the criticism Rockstar received over the leaked footage. In 2018, Kotaku exposed the crunch culture at Rockstar, and the company claims to have made improvements since then. In a follow-up piece also from Kotaku published in 2020, it's mentioned that Rockstar is working on creating sustainable development schedules and improving communication, so that a crunch time before launch is unnecessary. Exactly how these changes will affect the release dates for upcoming games isn't clear, but it's likely that players will be waiting a while longer for Red Dead Redemption 3, which has not yet been announced as being in development. Red Dead Redemption 3 will initially release on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. This is all but a done deal unless Rockstar decides to skip the generation with the Red Dead franchise. Though specifically when it comes to PC releasing dates, Rockstar is known to put out the games a tad year or two late. Red Dead Redemption 2 came to PC a little over a year later than it did for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. GTA 5 also followed a similar pattern with its 2014 PS4 and Xbox One release, followed by a 2015 release for Windows. Considering how far Red Dead Redemption 3 is, asking for a day one PC port isn't too much to ask. But if things still take a turn for the worst, you could see a PC version in 2029 at the very least. Well, hopefully. Red Dead Redemption 2 was the only built from the ground up game Rockstar developed and released for the last generation of consoles. With the development of GTA 6 being so busy, it's possible that we might not see any game besides it made by Rockstar for this generation. But this is purely speculation, so we advise taking this with a spoonful of salt. For the time being, if the game launches in 2028, the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows will irrefutably have a respective version, albeit with some discrepancy in dates, if any. An option to stream the game when it releases has some hope to it too. A number of legal issues had also arisen, and due to that, we are convinced, along with many others, that Rockstar may, in fact, delay the originally planned release window of GTA 6, though we'll never be sure about this, since no official statement exists. But if this has happened, then surely the notion of Red Dead Redemption 3 has been delayed as well. And that leads us to our current speculation of the game arriving in 2028 at the earliest. Another thing we have based this conjecture on is judging from Rockstar's history. In the table, you can see the release dates of some of Rockstar's first-party games. Up until the launch of GTA 5, Rockstar regularly released games. Afterwards, probably because of GTA 5's critical commercial success, they toned down things quite a lot. Fans didn't see Red Dead Redemption 2 till 2018, a period of 5 years later since their last game, a delay that wasn't previously seen with Rockstar's games. While the GTA Online and Red Dead Online experiences did release in the times between, those still weren't developed from scratch in the way a new IP or sequel is. Aside from these, sure, the GTA Trilogy Remaster and the Bully Anniversary Edition did manifest, but those weren't done by Rockstar's studios. Rockstar only played the part of being the publisher there. Today, over 4 years have passed since the release of Red Dead Redemption 2. Allegedly, Grand Theft Auto 6 is Rockstar's upcoming game, but it too seems very far away, as it wasn't officially announced until the leaks happened. So keeping all things in mind, late 2028 feels like the best bet. Rockstar confirmed earlier in 2022 that development on the next entry into the Grand Theft Auto franchise is currently underway. After the leak, it's pretty obvious development will be impacted somewhat. Rockstar has made it big with its games. You might even say that their games have amassed a cult-like following, so we are certain they won't shelve any of their successful projects. On the other hand, recently Rockstar announced that they won't be expanding Red Dead Online further. That means you won't see any big updates heading to the game anymore. The servers will still remain up, even if they were to shut them down. Red Dead works on a peer-to-peer connection. Red Dead Redemption 2 was the prequel to John Marston's story that originally began with the first game's release. Unfortunately, there's been no official statement regarding the plot of Red Dead Redemption 3. But there are a few theories. As you know, Red Dead Redemption 2 was the prequel to the original story. It showed the rise and demise of the once powerful Van der Linde gang, while the original game then continued to show the events of John Marston's life, which took a turn for the worse due to the aftermath of his previous association with the Van der Linde gang. The story finally ended with how John Marston died and was later avenged by his son Jack. Now with regard to what the third game can be about, there are two possibilities. Either we get a sequel or Rockstar continues to contradict the franchise's story periods and numbering by making Red Dead Redemption 3 another prequel. If a sequel is what ends up coming to fruition, it might be safe to assume that Jack Marston may in fact be the protagonist of Red Dead Redemption 3. We might get to witness how he copes with his family's loss at such a young age. That might further be expanded with Jack joining or starting a gang of his own. There's also another possible outcome. We may get a totally different story altogether, one set in Europe or early 1960s America. This would be a fresh take on the series, and a welcome one at that. On the other end completely, what if the sequel ends up being a prequel? Red Dead Redemption 2 takes place in 1899, and some years after that, a potential prequel could be set in the early 1860s, or at some point in time that could lead up to the events that led to the formation of the Van der Linde gang itself.